One that evening, Percy was quarreling at me, but Percy didn't watch where he was going. Well, that was a branch hit. This is your own fault. I was not unsympathetically that I did something rude things about calling him a drip. The next morning, Henry was running late at the junction. I was hurrying along. Suddenly, ouch!
One of your side rods has broken. It's swung up and punctured your tank. We'll have to get help.
The station master told Percy about Thomas, but Percy was most offended. I won't go. Let him drink himself. After he called me a drip. But what about Annie and Clarabelle and the passengers? They will stay all night too? Oh, you're alright, driver. Otherwise, I'll be turned to drip too. Thank you, Percy. I'm sorry I was rude. The tanks got me a drip after all. Can I be friends again? Of course, Thomas. Let's get you home. Soon, I was finally befriended with Percy. There are no quarreling in the future. There you are, Bill and Ben. Now, I had one more job to do, you two. You had to pick up a scrap metal and the ballast hoppers and take it to the other side of the docks. We will do our best. Whoa! What's happening? That was your fault! Me, my fault? I was being derailed, and now you derail me. Ahem. Oh, I suppose we've been derailed by the foolishness. What on earth has happened here, Bill and Ben? Sorry, Gordon. We're all derailed by the delays with your express and the crossing. All your indemnity. I'm sorry for causing me our accident, I may say. That's alright then. We still twins are naughty twins. We're supposed to be retreated. And this time, there's gonna be no quarreling around. Bill and Ben, the Gisello Tank Engine twins, who work at the clay pits. They like to be naughty for the other engines playing tricks the other engines to the front. One morning, Bill and Ben arrive at NARRATED station. Gordon was waiting for his coaches. Bill and Ben had an idea. Hey Gordon, do you know you're going to the clay pit and pick up some cars full of clays? What? I was supposed to pull express, but Sir TOBY has told you to pull it. He wants to make some changes. Oh, the indemnity. I won't be long if I being Stooges around. The twins ever heard about the Stooges? They may have had the ideas. Soon, Gordon was at the clay pits and picked up some cars. Timothy pulled up beside him. Hello, Gordon. What are you doing here? I had to pull some China clay. Oh, I see. Meanwhile, the twins had a great plan. This is so successful. Hope Gordon will be really useful. But Gordon did not looking happy. Then there was trouble. Oh no! Gordon came off the curve and sliding off the tracks. Meanwhile, Bill and Ben knew it was all their fault. Will he be rescued? Sir TOBY had caused a lot of trouble for Bill and Ben for playing tricks. It was wintertime of the island of Sodor. Me, Percy, and Toby were looking at the skies of falling of snow. My driver says the winter party had been cancelled because the weather conditions. I wasn't so eager. It's not fair. I like winter parties. I can't be cancelled. Later that day, I was able to be in a snowplow. I was not happy at all until my driver says, Thomas, we had to pick up some cups and teas for the villages. They might be getting cold. But meanwhile, BERTIE was traveling home. Is Bertie will able to go to the winter party? I'm not sure, Thomas, but we had to get some deliveries and jobs. Meanwhile, Bertie wasn't traveling home. The snow was so thick, he couldn't see where he was going. Then there was trouble. Oh my! Whoa! Ouch! 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 No one had been hurt. Bertie's driver had been minor few bruises. Poor Bertie got stuck. He couldn't go any more further. And now he was stranded at the snow. Meanwhile, I was on the way to the village to deliver cups and tea. Suddenly, Bertie's driver waved a red flag. Bertie has come off the road and tumbled down the snow. We need to get him to the garage before nighttime. Wait, I have an idea. We had to spend Bertie in the night of a little party. This just gave me an idea, and I felt sorry for Bertie. Thank you, Thomas. It was nothing, Bertie. Since the winter party had been cancelled, we had to spend the night at a little winter party here. This here. One beautiful morning, Toby was taking Sir Toby had his wife and the grandchildren to take somewhere explore. Toby stopped at the Cinnabox, and his driver went to the Cinnabox and talked to the Cinnamon. They returned. He saw the old tracks. This is the way to the shortcut, Toby. As Toby went to the old line, he found himself at the abandoned route. That doesn't look right. Sir Top Hat was most impressed, but Toby was rather scared. Later that day, Sir Top Hat tell us to restored a new line. I hope the abandoned line won't be hunted by the ghost, Toby. Toby is not sure with that. Wherever the ghost will be hunted. Toby had to stay there for the night. Anything started to get dark. And really foggy indeed. Suddenly, bust my bell. What was that? It's a ghost! No one was hurt, but luckily Toby wasn't off the rails. Neither the flatbeds. or anything spills out from the flatbed. Well, I don't believe it. It's a narrow gauge engine. He's from the bending along the go. One day, Geoffrey felt sadly and lonely after he causing a lot of trouble with all his mistakes. He wished had to let him out again. At last, the workman came to see Geoffrey. I know you're sorry about them. I'm really sorry about my own mistakes in the past. I want to be a proper and good engine. Okay, that's good. Now, tonight, you have to pull some midnight goods trains to the other railway, which is too extended to it. It was at 1 o'clock in the midnight sharp. General loads and goods were already loaded to the train. Geoffrey was there too. He coupled to the long midnight goods trains, and he was ready to go to the other railway. Geoffrey's fireman shoveled his coal, and conductor showed his green light, and Geoffrey was ready to go. A lazy cinnamon accidentally switched the points. Meanwhile, Hero was stuck at the red signal, with his goods trains. Hero's guard had been dozed off at the brake fan, and they didn't notice Geoffrey was coming at the midnight goods trains. Geoffrey's driver and fireman jumped clear before the huge crash. When Geoffrey woke up, he had been laid dazed and surprised and even confused. Hello, Gordon. Are you eating breakfast every day? Engines don't eat breakfast. Here's the one thing Sataba had about the breakfast party. What breakfast party? Well, it's a celebration of breakfast, of foods, with proteins and wheats, and even more. And just even. Okay, who did this? Oops, sorry. Don't worry, I'll clean you up. Careful! Sorry, Neville. Well, that was unexpected happen. Well, hello, little James. Derail nowhere? Huh. Ha ha. Very funny, Gordon. Well, gotta go. Breakfast party coming through. Gosh, breakfast party will be there in 15 minutes now. But where's James? He's supposed to deliver the breakfast foods hours ago. Thank you, Thomas. Let's get to NARRATED Station. Well, Thomas, this here, the breakfast party of Sir Top Hat's Railway. You know right, Percy. Don't forget the bacon and the eggs. Maybe without the bacon. Oh, man. Unity. Hello, Neville. What are you doing? Let's just look at the signs. Oh, just look at the sign that says do not enter. Oh, I see. Well, I have to bring some cars to the harbor now. If I'm going to take a look. We will show him. Wait, what? What are you doing? Well, this is what happened. I didn't mean that. Hello, Raoul. What are you doing? Are you pulling a special visitor? No, indeed. Just usually pulling passengers, that's all. Oh. What if I could tell Raoul about the winning of the Brazilian? I don't get it. Why we had the race? Because we had a Brazilian win of cups. That might get the job done quicker. Especially the shortcut. That was a good idea. Didn't see that coming. Oh well, it's more important than winning. Sometimes, my branch line have been causing more delays than ever. Such as, the farmers and crossing have broken signals, and other stuff. And next morning in Average Station, I always pick up the passengers and they go on its way to my branch line. early, but 1 minute late. The next morning, I was making on his way. Suddenly, unthinkable happened. I was derailed. I flipped on their side, especially Annie Clarabelle. The passengers were injured inside while they flipped over the side and tilted. As for my crew, they got minor injuries.